Brighton's finest juice.
Obviously, you're not going to be been able to put your feet up soon because you're going to be going on quite a mammoth tour, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. We're going all over the place, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and because this is your first album for 5 years as Franz Ferdinand, I suppose it's an extra long touring bout for you.
Yeah, can't wait to go. I mean, we toured quite a bit last year as well. We went over to the States and across Europe, and can't wait.
Okay, you've done the one gig so far, haven't you? Just did a gig in Japan. Is that right?
Yeah, we did a gig in Japan, and where are we off to next? We're going to Italy on Sunday, and off to
France as well
on Monday. Yeah, it's going to be pretty busy.
So the gig in Japan, was that the first time that you played the new songs?
No, we've been playing a lot of them. The first time we played was in the summer last year, and we've been playing 9 of the songs live for quite a while now. Okay. So we're pretty familiar with them.
Sure. So the songs have been in the bag for quite some time then.
Yeah, we finished. You know how it is. Like you finish recording quite a while before an album actually comes out. When did we finish mixing this?
I think it was first, like March of last year, maybe.
It takes a while for things to get together.
Okay, cool. So it must be pretty exciting because it has been nearly 5 years, hasn't it? I know you did the collaboration with Sparks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did the FFS record, and so yeah, you kind of we toured the last Franz record, then made the FFS record, toured that for a while. So I'm sure from the outside it seems like quite a while since we've been around, but for us it feels like nothing.
Okay, well, just a little potted history for those who don't know much about you. You're a band. This is your 5th album. And you've always been with Domino, the Domino recording.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
And your first album won the Mercury Music Prize back in
2004.
And so how did you end up hooking with Domino in the first place?
Well, I remember we were sort of playing in Glasgow at that time. We were all from Glasgow, and we hadn't really played outside Glasgow. And we got in touch with our manager, and he said, we should play a gig down in London, and some people from the industry can come down and see you. We were like, oh God, we have to go all the way down to London. So we went down, we played this gig, and it was maybe the worst gig I've ever played in my life. It was in this club called Cherry Jam, and there was nobody in the audience apart from people from record labels. And they don't necessarily make for the greatest atmosphere in an audience, and it was awful. Like, I really hated playing it. I remember afterwards just thinking, "Oh man, that's it. I totally blew that. There's no way anybody's going to want to sign that band who just obviously weren't in the gig." But we'd arranged to play another gig with some friends of ours, just at a pub, in another part of London. And that next night, it was amazing because it was people we knew and friends of theirs and friends of friends. And it was a great night. It was more like the sort of things that we were used to doing in Glasgow, just a bit of a party. And also we thought it wasn't an industry thing, except there was a guy called Lawrence Bell in the audience that night who was from the founder of Domino Records. And he, rather smartly, had decided he wasn't going to go down and see the night with all of the guys from the labels, but was going to go down to the party night. And I was so glad he did. We've been super close ever since then. He's an amazing guy.
Sure, and to me it makes total sense because obviously if you're part of the industry and you're looking to see a band, you want to be at a gig which is a proper gig. We want to see how the audience react, how it comes across.
Well, it's not always that way. I don't know how the industry is now. Like, I don't really. I don't have contact with that side of it, but I know back then A&R guys often ran in a pack. They'd sort of like run together after what they'd heard was the latest, greatest signing.
Excuse to go to as many drinking holes as possible.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Yeah.
But obviously live is still very important, isn't it? It's probably even more important than it was back in 2004 because sales were still quite a healthy thing, weren't they? Physical sales. It was before the internet had properly kicked in, and then subsequently, obviously, it has really kicked in. And live music, I think, has become more important, hasn't it? So,
I love playing gigs as well. I can't get enough of it. It's when I first started playing live when I was 18, 19, or whatever, I felt very frustrated because I couldn't play as much as I wanted to. So, I'm not going to complain about it now.
No.
Brighton's finest Juice.
Okay, so the new album's called Always Ascending, and it's the first one to feature Julian, who's with us right now. Julian, when did you join the band, and how did that happen?
It was in sort of August 2016, I think, and we just got together through mutual friends, Stuart Braithwaite from the band Mogwai, and Paul Savage and Emma Pollock from the Delgados. And Alex was looking for somebody else, I guess, and they said, why don't they talk to me? So yeah, I really owe them.
You owe them a couple of pints, don't
yeah.
And there's another new member as well, isn't there?
Yeah, Dino Bardot, Glasgow's greatest rock star.
Glasgow's greatest rock star. Okay, can you explain that?
Well, Alex, you've got a story about him, haven't you?
That's right. Because when we made the record, like, we kind of made it quite old school. It's the sound of the four of us playing in a room together, but we. It wasn't really done with overdubs. It was all done with the four of us playing together in the room at the same time. Apart from we allowed the space for the equivalent of one person playing live, so another set of hands and another voice. And so when it came to play the songs live, we thought, well, the band used to be a four-piece, but now it's changed its lineup. There's no reason why we can't actually get another person in to play the parts of that fifth person. And I was at my friend Charlie's birthday party, and Dino had got together a band to play Charlie's favourite songs and to get people up to sing them. And I got up and I sang I'm on Fire, the Bruce Springsteen song. And Dino got up and sang Purple Rain by Prince. Oh, yeah. And not only did he sing it, he played the guitar solo as well. No way. And that's quite a guitar solo. And I was just watching it, my jaw was on the ground. So I was like, man, this guy is incredible. He's like such a guitar, he's like a total rock star. He should join the band. Yeah, so that's the moment we decided that Dino join.
We recently did karaoke in Japan, and he absolutely killed it as well.
Oh, he was incredible. Yeah. No, actually, you killed it, Julian. Julian can do an incredible falsetto, and he did note for note, word for word, a complete version of Wuthering Heights, and it was astonishing. Like in the correct key as well. Mind blowing.
It's my party piece.
Yeah. All the dance moves too.
Maybe there's another avenue for you in the future then.
Yeah. There's just curly haired wig and a leotard.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
The tribute circuit awaits.
Oh man!
Good. So this album was recorded with the French producer Philippe Zidar. I think that's how you say his name.
That's right.
Yeah, that's him.
Philippe Zidar, well known for acts like Cassius and the Beastie Boys, things like that. And it was recorded partly in London and partly in Paris at the Motorbase Studios.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So is that? I mean, it does feel like it on some of the tracks I've heard that there is that kind of French electronic dance feel to it. Is that?
Yeah, he brought a lot of that flavor to the album. I mean, he's a master producer. You know, he's worked with a lot of different bands, but especially his work with the house duo Cassius. You know, we were all big fans of his stuff before we decided to work with him, and yeah, he's definitely brought that. Especially on songs like "Feel the Love Go," I think he's brought a lot of that. French house flavour to it.
Yeah, and what was great about Philippe was, like, even though he's coming from that sort of DJ and sort of French house perspective, he still loves, a live band and a raw performance. And before we even went to the studio, we were sort of sitting around at mine and going through my old records, and he was pulling out things like the first Violent Femmes record and the first B-52s record, and he was saying, like, listen to this record. It sounds so exciting because it's the sound of a band playing together in the studio. And you have the tempo goes up and the tempo goes down, it gets louder, and it gets more because they're excited about the music. And so it's incredible to have somebody who's coming from that world of dance music who's very happy to abandon the sort of the grid and the programmed side of dance music and understand that, well, sometimes it's a live performance that makes it sound cool.
Yeah, B-52, it's funny you should mention them because I've been sort of mildly obsessed with Give Me Back My Man recently. Do you know that?
Oh, right. Which album's that on again?
From Wild Planet, 1980.
Right, yes, that's the red one, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it's red.
Yeah.
But it's on YouTube. There's a fantastic clip of them doing a studio gig. It might have been German or French television or something like that.
Right. Oh, that's amazing.
We actually played with them. Our very first show as the new lineup. We played with them.
Right.
Yeah, they were really cool as well. They were, yeah. I mean, you can still, Fred's such a front man. He's like totally charismatic. And backstage afterwards, there was a piano backstage, and the keyboard player was playing on the piano, and he was singing "Why Do Birds Suddenly Appear," but jamming and sort of like improvising lyrics that I can't repeat on the radio. But man, he was a funny fella.
He looks funny as well, because on this "Give Me Back My Man" clip, he's not doing anything except playing a tambourine and basically jigging around while, it's just bizarre.
That sounds like Fred, yeah. Oh, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so that sounds like the old-fashioned way of sort of getting inspiration, working on ideas, raiding record collections, pulling things out, having a look, and revisiting things, I guess.
When we were making this record, we kind of wanted to do two things simultaneously. So, like the performance side was really old school. Like we spent months rehearsing and learning the songs and knowing that we could play them inside out before we went anywhere near the studio. So the actual recording is the sound of the four of us in a room and one or two takes. It took us 6 days to track everything for the album. But at the same time, trying to use the studio and use technology to push it to the sound of the future, trying to make something that doesn't sound, trying not to be retrogressive and sort of saying, everything has to be on tape, or we're trying to recreate the sound of 1968. Forget all that stuff. Yeah. The performance is what matters. As far as the sound goes, look to the future. Look to something that you haven't heard before.